Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we've got a quick early access review video for you. I say review, but it's more a review in progress that will take a long time to complete because the game in question, The Bus, is a brand new early access game and it's still some way off from completion. The question is this worth investing early in, or should you wait for the full release, or maybe just avoid it altogether? Let's find out. I've always had a soft spot for simulators, whether it's running my own farm into the ground, ramming competing haulage companies off the road in Euro Truck Simulator, or buying Ronaldo just to stick him in the reserves in Football Manager. I've always found ways of turning these games into my own devilish fun. I don't tend to take them all that seriously. They're toy boxes for me to play in, and boy do I play. The Bus is no different. I had my fun, even if I didn't deliver a single satisfied passenger. The Bus is the latest bus simulator to try to woo sim fans away from whatever other weird sims they're playing. It's early access, so at the moment it's very bare bones, but what is there is very promising. For one, the game actually looks decent. Simulator games tend to look, well, there's no other way of putting it, is there? Shit. They tend to look like shit. They're low-budget games by small teams. The effort usually goes into the sim side, not the presentation. The Bus bucks this trend by actually looking more than half decent, and that's because it's been built using the super flexible Unreal Engine 4. So you get nice graphics, nice lighting, and even some nice weather effects to really simulate driving a bus in Berlin, complete with shitty weather. The Bus takes place in Berlin, and the developers claim it's on a 1-to-1 scale, which, if true, is really impressive. Unfortunately, I can't really say one way or the other, but it seems to be quite accurate based on what I've been able to explore so far. Bear in mind, not every road is ready to be driven along yet. Some sections of the city are blocked off, and you'll hit an invisible barrier if you try to drive down them. I started my adventure in The Bus on my bus, and I even managed to tempt somebody onto it. Mind you, this was before I knew what I was doing because I had not yet fully explored the controls. I was just too excited to drive a bus in a game that didn't look like complete arse. Anyway, I got my first passenger, a lady who looked a lot like my neighbour actually, but as I didn't know how to print her a ticket or give her any change, I just drove on. I thought that she would accept my silence to mean, honey, you don't pay here, and that she would go and sit down. She didn't. Instead, she stood next to me the entire time, smiling her creepy smile. I started to worry that perhaps The Bus wasn't the sim game I thought it was. This was turning into a horror show faster than you can say Arbeiterunfallversicherungsgesetz, which means occupational accident insurance, which is more than fitting, because I drive my buses like an actual lunatic. In fact, this jaunt through Berlin quickly took a turn, and I was soon starring in my own The Bourne Journey. I smashed into the back of a cop car. They didn't respond with the Blaulicht, but I knew they were on the radio calling in for backup. It was only a matter of time before the Grenzschutzgruppe 9, German SWAT, was onto me. I had to ditch this bus quickly and make tracks. I nudged past the creepy woman who still stood there smiling at me, perhaps she was undercover, and I ran up the street, careful to peek behind me and to listen out for the distinctive sound of a Heckler-Koch Fumpf priming to fire. I didn't hear it, but I knew they were there somewhere, maybe in a super secret stealth helicopter invisible to the naked eye. I ran through the city streets, panicking as I went by, forgetting that I'm severely asthmatic and I can't run for more than 8 meters without knocking on death's door. Luckily this is Berlin and shops are open 24/7. Or are they? No, they're not. But still, I found an Apotheker and it was just a ruse. Inside was a restaurant. The hair salon next door? Also a restaurant. Gentrification has gone too far. I still couldn't hear the wailing of sirens or the cries of "Geh auf den Boden" by the fuzz, but it was only a matter of time. I headed to a nearby park and, surprisingly, I wasn't offered any drugs by a Turkish fella. What kind of simulation is this? Anybody who's walked through the Gorlitzer Park will know that you can't go from one end to the other without coming out with a nice big bag of weed. Or at least I can't because, well, I'm a massive fan of drugs. What can I say? Anyway, I tried to find shelter in the park, maybe a hobo camp that I could blend into and join, but there was nothing. So instead, I found a bush and decided to play at being a creep instead. But it was the middle of the night, so yeah, not really much to creep on. And that is the story of how I drove a bus, met a creepy lady, crashed a bus, evaded the cops, and became a voyeur in a Berlin park. So yeah, I enjoyed myself and I had a great time. I didn't deliver any passengers, but that wasn't my mission anyway. Only Treadstone knows my mission. And that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it to be at least a little bit entertaining. I had fun playing around in the bus, and I'm looking forward to future updates, because maybe once there's more to do, I'll actually do it, instead of going off on my own silly adventures. Or maybe I won't, because I'm me, and me is silly. If you did enjoy this video and want more in the future, give the like and subscribe buttons a tap, as well as the bell icon, so that you're notified whenever we've got new stuff. Go on down to the info box for our social media and our supporters page, where you can support our small team if you can. I've been Chris. I do what I want, not what I'm told, and I'll see you next time. Until then, bye bye.